In this video we're going to have a look at colors in HTML. Okay, sometimes you have a web page like the one that we're making is definitely not one that you would see on the internet somewhere. Web pages on the internet, they look more well designed, they look more sophisticated as well, and they have a better looking user interface than the ones we're making. So you want to ask, when you're looking at basic HTML pages, you want to ask where is the color in it. Now that's what we're going to explore in this video. In order to add color, well, there's two types of color. One is the actual color that you want to put on, like the text, for example. So if I want to maybe color this text here, okay, the font, that's the font color that I'm going to use. Then you can also color the background. Okay, now in order to color the background, we can use the BG color attribute. Now I can color the body. Okay, so what this will do is it's going to, wherever you see the white space, it's going to color there that white space. Okay, so the background, I can use BG color equals, and I will make it green, and you can see the background is green now. Now in modern day HTML, this tag is really discouraged because in some versions or some browsers I assume it's deprecated. So a better way to use the background color would be using the style attribute, not the BG color attribute. Okay, so you would go like this: style equal to, okay, it's a style attribute, and once I do that, inside of here you write color, or you can say, if you want to color the background, then you can say background color, background color equals to green. So I will discourage you to use the BG color attribute, and I will encourage you to use the style attribute. So okay, this doesn't work because the thing about this is that in the style attribute we're using CSS. Okay, so that's like a modern version of HTML, and now the CSS syntax is not, it doesn't have an equal to sign in it. What it does is that it works like this: it has a colon, and you do that. So we see that it has the same effect. If you want to color the font of the body, okay, the body means like everything that you see on the web page. Okay, then you're going to use the color property. Okay, so this is called the property, this is called the value, and this is called the attribute, and this is called the tag. So you can see that the same color has gone into the text. So when we explore CSS, I'm going to show you more color attributes or properties that you can use. There's many. Then we have, of course, we can use the font right here as well. So I'm going to remove this from here, and I'm going to use the style attribute and write a property like color in here, and I will make this red. So your declaration must end in a semicolon all the time in CSS. So we have now this is not the only thing we can do, there's more to colors. Okay, so if I delete this one, you can see if I bring this code here. Okay, so let me do that. Now I just zoomed in, that's why it looks like this. Okay, so you can see this is a red heading. Okay, in the heading 1 tag we colored the text red. Then you can see the color of the paragraph is green, and the color of the third paragraph is blue. You can also change the background color. So if you want to change the color and the background color, then you can just after the semicolon you can specify that. You can put the background color as well. Now background color, and I'm gonna make the background yellow. It's not the best, but that's just how it looks, similar to the mark tag that we explored previously. Now this is just normal colors. You can also use, when you coloring in, you can also use some other format of coloring. Okay, this is the normal format where you specify English values. Okay, but if you want a special shade of colors, then you can use a hexadecimal value like this. Okay, so I have color and I have the hexadecimal value for the color. Okay, then I can say this is a tomato red herring. You can see this is a tomato. This is a special shade. You wouldn't be able to get this shade if you specified it in English. Okay, so this is hexadecimal. Now one thing I want to show you, if you made this green, well, let's just make it blue. Okay, this is gonna be blue, but assume I want to spell a light, I want light blue, so I put here light blue. It gets it. But assume I want to do a special shade of pink, maybe shocking pink, so I put in shocking pink here. Oh, it's gonna give me some other color here. Now this is because this word is not defined as a color inside of HTML. You can on the internet search all the colors that are available to use, as you know, you have a color called teal as well, and you can explore other colors. There's also other colors like azure. Okay, you can see a very slight bluish, if you can see properly in the screen. You can see it's like slightly blue. It's gonna look good if I were to, I'm just using BG color quick. So if I made this green, now you can see it's looking white, but it's not really white, to be accurate. Okay, so that's how you can do achieve a specific shade of the color using hexadecimal. Then if you want to also include transparency, there's another format of coloring called RGB. RGB means red, blue, red, green, blue. So you're mixing all of them, a certain percentage of each, to achieve the specific color. Now for example, color is RGB. This is a function, and this is the primary colors. So RGB 255 is the max value. Okay, I think I still have to look that up to be 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that 255 is the max value. Let's just maybe increase this to 256 and have a look what that does. Okay, it doesn't do anything. Let's just make it 25. Yeah, see, so it's not getting more red, it's not becoming more red. So if we can make this 254, maybe 25. Okay, yeah, but you can see that if we pass 255, it's not gonna get more red than how it is. So this indicates the amount of redness in it, this number indicates the amount of greenness in it, and this indicates the amount of blueness inside the color. Okay, so this is also one way you can achieve a different shade of color using RGB. So I can play around with this. I can make this a 9, and that's going to change the color to more pink because of some absence of green. Now you can also use transparency with this. Okay, so if you want to get more transparent, then you can use the RGBA function. A means I think it stands for alpha. So I can make this say I want to achieve a transparency of 50%, then I'm going to say 0.5. You can also say 50%, it doesn't matter, it's the same thing. 0.1 would look like this, but if you want full transparency, then you can just put a 1 there, or you can leave it default. Okay, so if you don't specify, if you don't use the RGBA, then it's going to be full transparency. You use transparency if you want to see some text behind that text. So if I have maybe another text behind this one and I want to see that, then you can see that it like overflows. You use the Z index element for that, and some absolute relative positioning. Now we're gonna see that in the future, not now. Then we have this is just the alpha, like for transparency. So you can see this is now transparent. Actually no, forgot to save. Okay, these are transparent paragraphs. Next we can also, there's another format of coloring in. If you don't want to use RGB, or because maybe you don't know the red, green, blue ratio, then you can use the other function called the HSL. Okay, that's also a function, stands for, let me show you. Okay, this is HSL, stands for hue, saturation, lightness. So this is how you can achieve different shades using this hue, saturation, lightness. This also depends on what type of colors you have, what type of data you have. Maybe you don't have RGB, you can use HSL. If you don't have HSL, you can use RGB. And of course, if you want to make some transparency, then you can put a 0.5 and use the HSLA function, and that's gonna make it transparent. So that's all about colors for now.